Good evening, everybody. This is Bradley Benner with Gadget, and tonight is June 11th. It's 7 p.m., and this is Training Webinar Week 14. So welcome, everybody. Tonight's going to be strictly Q&A. I don't have any updates on the case study stuff that we've been doing for the last few weeks or the local case study. The updates still aren't 100% complete. There's been a lot of movement with the server stuff. My sites are actually currently down at the moment because of the server migration, so I really don't have any data from the case study from the last week anyways. I've been having some intermittent troubles for the last couple of days that we're trying to get resolved. So today's kind of just going to be a free-for-all Q&A. Anybody that wants to ask questions, I encourage you to do so immediately. Just post them right on the events page, and we will, I'll get to what I can, answer what I can. And then we'll probably end up cutting this one a little bit short, which is fine because I'm sure we all have other things to do too. So with that, I'm going to see if there's any questions currently, and there is not. So I did notice in the Facebook group, based on the post about the updates that the state of the ATM that Don posted, there were some questions in there. Terry Collins asked about zero bounce. We'll be able to safely use it. Yes, we will. In fact, I'm going to be doing training on that plugin, Terry, some more in-depth training when we get back to more of a normal training schedule. It's been a little bit off for the last few weeks while we've been anticipating these changes and these updates. So just know that there's a lot of training coming up that I'm prepared for, and I'm actually anxious to get started. So as soon as we have the updates are in place and I start building again heavily, I'm going to be doing a lot of additional training, not just these webinars, but training videos too, that I'm going to continually feed back into the Facebook group and into the YouTube channel. So by the way, anybody that is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I recommend that you do that so that you will get notified of new updates, new updated videos as they're added, because otherwise you might not know unless you go manually check. So okay, so any questions, guys? Like I said, please paste them right on the events page. And looks like we've only had 8 people, including, well, 2 of them were Lead Gadget, which is this page, and me. So there's only 6 people that had even RSVP'd. So if there's not going to be any questions, we will just wrap it up. I only came because I committed to being here. So if there's no questions, since I have no data to share with you guys this week, it's like I said, I'm not just going to sit here and talk to the screen for no reason. If you guys have some questions, please post them. Otherwise, we will just call this one a night off and go drink beer or something. So I wish that was the case. I've got more work to do. So, all right. So I'm going to keep scrolling through a couple of these Facebook posts to see if there's anything that I can address while I wait for a few more people to maybe jump on. I like what Cody posted about stock images and how to scrape them. That's really cool. That's freaking useful as hell. I know I've spent a lot of money on stock photos. I changed the file names, but if there's a way to kind of scrape them, and people that have the use licenses, then so be it. That's pretty sneaky. I like it. And I've been kind of out of touch with the with what's going on with the updates for the past few days, because I know that Don is just buried up. He has been burning the candle at both ends for weeks now, and God bless that guy. I don't know how he does it, and still hasn't had a heart attack yet. And bite my tongue, right? That's not to curse him in any way. All right, guys, I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes, and if we don't have any questions, I am going to just kill it for the night, and we'll reconvene next week, hopefully with a lot more to cover. Let's see if we can find anything else. Okay, Cody was asking about, I'm not in the forum. I know Elizabeth actually gave me an account in there, and I just don't go into the forum much because I find forums incredibly confusing and distracting as hell. So I tend to try to get everything answered on the webinars when they're there, or the Facebook group. Let's see. Bob Faraday said he had his first $10 day. That was about a week ago. That's pretty cool, Bob. Yep. All right, guys. I'm going to take a look one more time. Okay, here's a few. Sweet. All right, cool. There's some questions. Thank God, guys. I appreciate that. All right, Augusto says, I haven't started building anything yet since everything is changing so fast. When do you think everything is going to be good to go? Augusto, I wish I could tell you. I honestly, I don't know. I'm not, I don't want to rush Don at all. I know he is working harder than I've ever seen anybody work. The amount of code that guy has to write for these changes is just, it's unbelievable. And he's only one man. He's only human. He's superhuman, but he's still only human. So, you know, he's working on it, and as soon as they're available, we'll know about it. And I've got lots of training scheduled that it's just completely on hold until that time, because there's no reason for me to start doing training videos now that are going to be obsolete in a matter of days or weeks or whatever. And so it's been a couple weeks that it's been on hold, and quite honestly, I want to be building, but it's just a matter of being patient. So Augusto, I wish I could tell you, but I don't have a time, and I don't want to push on that either. So it is what it is, and when it's done, it will have been worth the wait. I assure you that. So Michael Dawes, what's up, Michael? He's in my group as well. He says, I've been waiting for the right time to jump on board with Lead Gadget. It seems like it's best to wait till things settle down. Yes, Michael. I mean, either way, Michael, it doesn't matter. Get in now. And at any moment, the update should be done. Or you could wait until they're done. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any pricing differences at that time. That I'll have to leave that up to Brian and Dawn. I haven't been notified of that if that's the case. I'm sure there will be pricing changes. I don't know how quickly though. It's not like the updates are going to be made available tomorrow and then the following day it's up. I don't know. You know, I'm pretty sure there will be some delay time there, but it's going to be really amazing, Michael. It was already good. It's going to be even better. So. Kyle Marvel says, I'm a member of Surfshaker VIP group, not on Lead Gadget yet. How does this compare or utilize Surfshaker? Kyle, I started using Surfshaker originally as well, and then I jumped on Lead Gadget and the ATM way back in August of last year when they first launched it to a small group, a select group. I was on that first webinar and got in on it, and I honestly didn't even build with it until the end of January. I just purchased it because I knew that it was going to be powerful, and I just didn't take the time to learn how to use it until January. But I can tell you that since then, I don't even use Surfshaker anymore. It's not that there's anything wrong with Surfshaker. There's nothing at all. It's a great plugin, absolutely. But I just use Lead Gadget now because I can accomplish with Lead Gadget in a matter of like a fraction of the time that it would have taken me to do with Surfshaker is my point. So that's the only difference. It's industrial strength. Like, it's the site builder and everything. It's not like, with Surfshaker. And again, guys, I'm not putting this down in any way, shape, or form. So don't anybody misconstrue what I'm saying, please. I just like the Lead Gadget because it builds the site and everything for you, all in one fell swoop. And so what used to take having a WordPress installation installed, I'd always use a clone, but I'd still have to install WordPress, and then I'd have to go in and I'd have to update stuff, and then I'd have to build out the pages, in the silos and all that other stuff. Now I don't bother with that. With Lead Gadget, it's just a matter of I just decide using my custom list codes how I'm going to build the site, put the content together. It usually takes me about 2 hours to prepare the content for each build for a new set of builds, and then I deploy the site, and then I usually build in sites in batches of 8 to 10. And I can usually build 8 to 10 sites after the content is prepared in about another 2 to 3 hours. So you're talking about about roughly 6 hours, and I can have 8 to 10 sites completely built, deployed, and cleaned up, which I think is incredibly powerful. Surfshaker, it used to take me that long to really build out one good site. And so, and that was, you know, with a lot of additional steps in there. So that's how it works for me. I know there's a ton of people out there that are just crushing it with Surf Shaker, and that's fantastic. Hats off to them. I found Lead Gadget to be more my speed, more my style. It just was easier, and I like easy, in my opinion. Okay, so anyways, great question though. Ganty says hi. Sorry, I am late, a little bit under the weather. Sorry to hear that, Ganty. Glad to have you, buddy. You're the one that like never misses. So you're always glad to have you. All right, we'll see if there's any other questions, guys. It looks like still not a people here, just a few. So if anybody has any other questions, please post them. I'm actually a little upset because my server's been having issues with it since the migration occurred. And it's, you know, been working on getting everything fixed, but I'm sure that a lot of my sites have taken a beating as far as indexing and everything because of the fact that I've had issues for the last several days. You know, it's okay to have issues for a day, but for several days, you know, on and off, it's really difficult. I keep getting alerts from Webmaster Tools that my sites are offline, you know, that kind of stuff, and that's very discouraging because I feel like, you know, I've taken several steps back that it's going to take a while to recover from, if at all. And that's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's part of this business. You know, you take your beating and take a licking and keep on ticking, so to speak. So, okay, Kyle, another question says, how quickly are they indexed with Backlink Indexer? It depends, Kyle. It's all over the board. It's like what Brian says, and I absolutely believe this to be true through my own trial and error now. And that's just throw sites at the wall and see what sticks. I do that. Like, in fact, I take, you know, I found I had some really successful sites right off the bat. And so I kind of assumed that they would all be that successful. And I'm finding out over time that they're not. There's some that are just flat out duds that just won't perform, whatever. Some sites just won't index no matter what the hell you do. And it's just the nature of the game. So as Brian has said many, many times, just build. Don't spend your time analyzing why sites do or don't index. Just build more, because some of them are bound to be successful. It's a numbers game. And I truly believe that, because I've spent time analyzing, well, wait a minute, why is it that this one site indexed with my tag pages and I've got 400 and some odd thousand index pages, and then over here it's a very similar site built pretty much to the same specs, and it's, you know, I can't get more than 1,500 posts indexed. What's the difference? But honestly, it's a waste of time, because the time that I take analyzing the differences between those sites, or trying to identify the difference between those sites, I could have built another site. You know what I'm saying? So instead, why not just build more sites? And in the ones that after several weeks just will not index or perform, you just delete them. You know, just clear out the space on the server and build another one. The ones that are successful, those are the ones that you want to go in and then just hammer away at them and build multiple subversions of that same, you know, targeting that same group of keywords, so that you end up, you know, just driving everybody else off page one and just dominating for those terms. And that's the best way to go about it, in my opinion, is to build. And when you identify 6 sites or keywords or keyword sets that you're successful with, then you go in and just repeat that in that same, you know, continue building in that same niche, and just try to dominate for that space. And that's where I found the most success with these. And again, it's kind of hit or miss as far as why some index and why some don't. As far as using Backlinks Indexer, using that plugin, that it's set on a very low drip rate schedule. And Don doesn't want us using indexing services on these sites anyways, because it's like server crushing. I've got some techniques and stuff that I use that don't affect the server, but I'm not allowed to share them with you. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to share those with you. So I can't tell you those. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because I was told not to. So, because next thing I know, if I mention some of them, then all of a sudden a bunch of people are going to try it and they'll do it wrong, and then they're going to blame me. Well, Brad told us to do that, and that's why I'm not allowed to tell you. But the way that Backlinks Indexer is set up is it's set up on a very, very slow drip rate. So it's you know, it's just over time it will help them to index. But like I said, I've had sites that have indexed in a matter of 2 weeks, and they've been to 100,000 pages indexed. Post, including like tag pages and stuff like that. And then there's other times, like with the case study that we've had going on for weeks, of which I have no data for tonight, that it's been 5 weeks, and I've got sites that are only indexed in the lower thousands. You know what I mean? So like 2,000 or 3,000 pages post index, which is ridiculous, and I just don't know why those sites won't index. But it is what it is. So just move on, right? So I know that probably wasn't really a clear answer for you, Kyle, except for that it's all over the place. It just keep building. Some will be successful, some will be hugely successful, others will be complete stinkers, and no matter what you do, they won't work. So Michael says, would ATM be a great fast way to build a local maps site, such as with our MC case study? Yeah, it would be. He's talking about the masterclass, guys. That's my other business, my coaching business. And so, Michael, just for the benefit of others, I've got to explain that. Yeah, it would be. Now, I haven't done, Michael, any hyper local sites with Lead Gadget yet. In fact, I have two case studies planned for Lead Gadget and ATM as soon as the updates are available. And I've got two local case studies. One's going to be a statewide case study, and the other one's going to be a regional case study. And I've outlined those in the last 2 or 3 weekly webinars that we've done. Michael, we do these every week. Okay, they alternate, like what the AAG group does for semantic mastery. We alternate the times. So this week it's 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and next week it'll be 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And anyways, my point is, if you go back and look at the previous webinars for the last several weeks, I go into detail as to what the case studies are that I'm going to set up as soon as the updates are available. And so I know there's some people here, Michael, that are using that for that. I've only, to this point so far, built nationwide sites. I built a few statewide sites too, but my greatest success and the ones that I've built probably maybe 75-ish sites in ATM. And the ones that I've built, I think I've only built like 5 state sites, and the rest of them have all been nationwide sites. So it's going to be a little bit of a different way for me to build too, but I've got a plan and an idea, and it's going to all be documented, guys. This is not just something that I'm going to cover in the webinars. We're going to analyze what was done there in the webinars. Michael, you know how it is with the masterclass that we host and Semantic Mastery, but I'm going to analyze very specifically what I've done. But I'm also going to document the builds and share those with you guys along the way. Okay. Ganty says, I know until the ATM Lead Gadget is ready, these meetings you are using for Q&A. So here it goes. Tell me more about the YouTube videos and the embeds needing the API key or something like that. I'm not sure what you mean, Ganty. I don't know anything about YouTube embeds needing the API key. I'm not familiar with that. Are you talking about specifically with Lead Gadget builds or what? If you can be a little bit more specific, Ganty, I'd be happy to. Okay, wait a minute. You might have already answered that just a moment. Kyle says, do you use this primarily for local sites? Kyle, I think I answered your question. No, I don't. To this point, no, but I'm going to be doing in the case studies that we have planned 2 local sites. And if they are successful, then I will probably end up using it a lot more. Here's my reasoning why I haven't done local sites to this point, guys. Because it takes the same amount of time to build a nationwide 42,000 post site as it does to build a regional site or a state site or even a city site, right? It takes the same amount of effort, the same amount of time. So why would I want to limit myself to just one specific area and use that space up on my server when I could go ahead and build a nationwide site and target the whole damn country? You know what I mean? That has been my reasoning, the reason why I have not built local sites to this point. However, like I said, and what I'm going to be talking about in the case studies coming up, the way I plan on building those out is going to the way that I've built the sites thus far in national type sites is I target one main keyword per site build. Okay, literally it's one main keyword for 42,000 posts. It's got variations in the content, but the SEO title or the content title, which is the most important part of the whole site, targets one keyword, and then the only thing that's different or varied is the location, the modifier, right? So city, state, whatever. And then when I find, then what I do is I'll build batches of sites like 8 to 10, and I will target variations of that main keyword. So I'll, pick 8 to 10 variations of that main keyword and build batches, each site targeting one version, one variation or one version of that keyword, if that makes sense. That's how I've been doing it. Going forward, and with these local case studies that we're going to be building out, I'm going to be targeting multiple keywords in the specific city or region or state that I'm going to be building out in. So, and it's going to be a little bit different because I haven't done that yet, but it's going to be how I build my custom lists and I have a plan for how I'm going to do it that will allow me to target multiple keywords for the same site. And you guys will see how that's done. I'm going to attempt it. I'm not even sure if it's going to be successful yet, but I'm going to attempt it. And you guys will see exactly what I'm doing because I'm going to document it. So Ganty says, once upload the list of video into Amazon S3, if I use the videos from the same bucket on several niche sites, will it slow down the load speeds? I know intuitively that it should not slow the load speed, and I also know test to know the answer or the true answer. So I was just asking your opinion or experience. Not sure what you mean by that either. List of videos to Amazon S3. Why would you upload a list of videos to Amazon S3? I use YouTube for my videos. I just grab the YouTube URL. YouTube's hosting them, so it shouldn't slow the site down at all. That's YouTube that's hosting them. They're just iframed in, right? So I'm not following you on that one, Ganty. If you can be a little bit more clear on that, I'll be happy to answer it. So specifically, let's see. Okay, so Ganty's following up and saying there was a discussion in the SERP Shaker VIP group that YouTube is asking for sort of identification from the people who want to embed other people's videos. The Amazon S3 question is unrelated to that question. Okay. I haven't seen that. I mean, Ganty, you're aware of at least that I do a ton of video SEO work, a lot of video SEO work, and I have not seen that yet at all. So I don't know what discussion was in the SERP Shaker VIP group. I'm in that group as well. I just don't frequent it often. So I have yet to see that. As soon as I see it, I'll find out what's going on with it. But I don't have anything to say about it at the moment because I haven't seen it. So Robin Ireland, let's see, says, yesterday my audio was messed up for the YouTube live webinar. Today, Bradley's video froze up. Audio is nice and clear though. What, is the video froze up for us now, guys? Oh my gosh, and it's an awful video or an awful image. Wow. All right, well, let me turn the video off then. How about that? That's a terrible picture. Let me shut that down. Looks like I'll be, it was an awful, awful image. Anyways, let me go back and find the page. All right, yeah, I don't know what happened with the video. It froze, so be it. As long as you guys can hear me. There's nothing to look at anyways, so just avert your eyes. So, all right, Michael Dawes says, seems to me the ATM could build multiple local city subdomains easily and real quickly. Yes, it could, Michael. We could go in and expand on the site build once we see the value of the subdomain. That's true. That's what I do, Michael. I've talked about that many times here. I know you're new to this, but thus far, I monetize the local sites. I'm sorry, the nationwide sites that I've been building. If they perform well and they're successful, then I try to monetize them, whether that's generating leads or building an email list or directing phone calls, or whatever it may be, or even just click-throughs to another site. So they're being used as to drive traffic to another location, whatever it may be. I try to use the sites to generate revenue, to monetize them. However, where I've also found personally my strategy being more of a local guy is that I've been using the data from these sites because it produces a massive amount of data to identify these areas that I can go in and dominate for with little to no off-page SEO work. It's just strictly on-page SEO that I can rank for because I've said, again, go back and watch some of the videos that I've done in the webinars, guys. I use Google Webmaster Tools and I use Google Analytics. I separate my accounts so that I'm not putting all of my sites into one account. I don't do that. I spread them across multiple accounts. But then that way I can go in and take a look at the data that Google's seeing, and I can see the search queries, where the traffic's coming in from the site, which keywords they were coming in on, and all that. And then I can sort the data and determine where I'm doing very well with just the site build, no off-page SEO at all. And then from there, I can say, okay, wow, if this site is doing so well with no off-page work whatsoever, I can go in and build a more traditional style site or Web 2s or YouTube videos. You guys, once again, know I do a ton of video SEO, and I can go in and I can dominate for these keywords in this local area with no off-page work at all, and just literally just build the properties and they'll rank. And so I've been using it for data discovery, if nothing else, if that makes sense, Michael. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if you were to use these lead gadget sites for nothing other than to generate data and for discovery, it would still be worth the price. It would be worth every penny. Okay. But that said, you can do way more than just that. Okay. So yeah, he said he's going to go back and watch the training for the last few weeks. Great. Kyle says that was a great answer. Thanks for making the training videos. The potential with this program is really exciting. I just joined Ring Call and they have a great pay-per-call program. Yeah, I saw that too. I haven't done anything with them yet, but I probably will moving forward over the next few months. Ganty says there was a discussion in the we already looked at that. Sorry, Ganty. Excuse me. Kyle says, are you just promoting the Lead Gadget network or do you have a preferred network? I am in Never Blue. You must be talking about an affiliate network, Kyle. Is that right? Just to, let's see, probably Kyle. Yeah. If you can just clarify that for me, Kyle, I think if you're talking about just the affiliate network, yeah, again, I haven't done a lot of affiliate stuff anyways. I'm more of a local guy, and for the national like sites that I've been driving leads for, it's either lead gen, like I'm getting paid per lead, or I'm driving traffic to build an email list or something like that. So I haven't really been doing any affiliate stuff. I built a couple sites for affiliate stuff for Lead Gadget specifically just for training purposes, but I never followed up with them. I mean, like, because it really is just not my preferred way to monetize sites. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just not something that I've got a lot of experience in. So I've been sticking with what I know for the time being, if that makes sense. So if Never Blue is another affiliate network, okay, cool. Then obviously it's something to look into. So thank you for that. I'll make a note of it. Ganty says, is it okay? It is okay. We are not here for the beauty context. Well, that's a good thing, Ganty, because I would have lost. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I retired from asking questions today. Just foggy brain. Thank you. No worries, Ganty. Thanks for being here, man. I always appreciate you coming and asking questions. So thanks. Okay. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it a couple more minutes, but if there's any other questions, guys, please go ahead and ask them. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up and let everybody go on their way. Michael, I'll be excited to have you join, buddy. I know you're in the some of our other groups, the masterclass for sure, and Semantic Mastery Masterclass. So be glad to have you in here as well. There is definitely a hell of a lot of potential with this. That's why I joined on and paid for it for 5 months before I even used it, because I knew damn well that there was potential there. So, and in fact, when I was offered the position to come do the training, I took it specifically because I knew if I was if I had to be accountable to others to do the training, that it would force me to learn how to use the app. And that's exactly why I did it, guys, was because I knew that I wouldn't make the time to learn how to build these sites unless I was being held accountable for it. And so you guys, as you know, members and students or whatever, it forced me to have to learn how to use it so that I could train others. And so that's why I took it initially, was so that it would force me to take the time to learn how to use it. And I'm glad I did. I think it's, a revolutionary application. So do you use Act from Joe Troyer to track phone calls? Kyle, no. In fact, I have analytic call tracking from Joe Troyer. I've got the enterprise account. I've bought a lot of Joe Troyer stuff, but I don't use it just because I've been doing lead gen for 5 years before I ever knew who Joe Troyer was. And I use my own system. I use CallFire for the tracking numbers. And then I use a call center. I drive all my calls into a call center, and then they route the calls or take the, qualify the calls and take the lead information, and then they route the leads, dispatch and that sort of thing. And I use answerconnect.com as my call center. I've been with them for, I don't know, probably 3.5 years. The first year and a half I was in the lead gen business, I was directing calls directly to my clients or my lead, the people servicing the calls, the buyers of the leads. But the moment that I implemented a call center, my revenue went up about 30% because a lot of the stuff that I do is with contractors. Probably 80% of my business is in the contracting industries, home services and things like that. And a lot of those companies, they have working owners. In other words, they have owners that are actually out there with their tools on doing jobs. And so a lot of the times the calls would go to them and they'd be in the middle of a job and they wouldn't answer the phone and I'd lose the lead. And so as soon as I implemented a call center where there's a warm body, a live person that answers the phone and takes the lead information, my revenue went up about 30% because those were captured leads that I was losing prior to that. So I've been using that ever since. And Call Fire. And I know that actually analytic call tracking is a better option than what I'm using. I know that for sure because I know it's a cheaper option as well. But it's just one of those things that I've got so much infrastructure already committed to that system that the amount of time and effort that it would take to move everything over just isn't worth it, in my opinion. I'd just rather spend the extra money and just keep, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a good system, though. Joe Troy knows his stuff when it comes to lead gen. So, okay. Is there anything? Thanks, Canty. Oh, I'm flattered. Is there anything else, guys, that you want to ask about before I wrap it up? Because otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to delete this video because of that awful, awful picture of me. So there was nothing really groundbreaking said tonight anyways, so I don't think it's really necessary that we keep that up. But if you guys got anything else to say or ask, please do it now because I'm going to give it about 60 seconds and then I'm going to shut it down. Okay. And I appreciate those of you that are here. Again, I quite expect that once the updates are done, guys, these webinars are going to become quite full with lots of questions. And so I recommend that you guys, if you have questions throughout the week that you would like answered live on the call, you can kind of follow the model of my Hump Day Hangouts that I do every Wednesday, guys. That's a different business. That's my coaching business, Semantic Mastery. But the events pages are going to be available that you can find, the Lead Gadget event pages. They're often posted in the Facebook group as well. But you can come here early and post your questions early. And that'll give me time. It's first come, first serve. So if you post a question like tonight after this is over on next week's event page, then yours is going to be the first one that gets answered next week. Does that make sense? So my point is if you guys have questions throughout the week that you would like answered on a live call, just put them on the events page for that next week, and I'll get to them that way. Because again, as the updates are implemented and this starts to get a lot more active and a lot more full, it's going to be first come, first serve. And if you guys get your questions in early, you'll be sure that they get answered. Okay. And even if you can't make the live event, that's the other thing. Even if you can't make the live event, if you get your questions posted on the events page, then they will get answered, and you can just catch the answer on the replay, right? So, okay. Now you were talking like a lady. Uh-oh, what is it? A bad? I guess it must be bad audio or something. Not really sure. Let's see. Thanks, Bradley. Michael Bose. He's one of our teammates over at Semantic Mastery. And Ganti says, "Hi, are you still going to keep the morning seminar? Always getting that early is killing me, man." Yeah, Ganti, we are. They're going to be both. It's going to be alternating just like they have been. And I have to do that in order to accommodate people that, are on. There's people from all over the world in this already. So we've got to alternate 12, like I said, I have to do that to be fair to everybody. I would prefer having it at one set time every week too, but I'm doing it alternating schedules. They're 12 hours apart every other week, right? So I have to do that to accommodate everybody. It's only fair. So, okay. Well, it looks like that's it. Nothing else. All right. I'm going to make the executive decision to call it, guys. Everybody go have a good evening. Go get some rest or go build some sites or go drink some beer. I don't care what you do. Just get the hell out of here, right? All right, everybody. I'll see you all next week, hopefully with a hell of a lot more news to discuss. Appreciate everybody being here and the questions and the interactivity. And like I said, the next events page will be posted momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and set that up now and post it in about the next 10 minutes. just mark your calendars or RSVP. That's probably the best way when you get the invitation, or if you can find the event, just, click that you're going to go, which will, mark your calendar for you and remind you that it's coming up. And then just post your questions ahead of time if possible. Okay. Okay. We'll see you all next week. Thanks.